Tricky Tracks is the newest expert map added to BTD6, and as is a history on this channel, every new expert map that gets added, I'm going to beat round 300 on it. This is a part of a series that I call Lucifer's Sanctum Continued, started by Mecha Rules, where I try to get to round 300 on every expert map. I haven't uploaded an episode of that in a while, simply because I've had stuff to do. However, this isn't going to be treated as an official episode, and just a fun challenge. Let's take a look at what this map actually is, and the track layout. So as we can see, there are 3 different train tracks that the balloons travel across in 2 different directions, so that means there are 6 different paths that the balloons take. As well as this, I'm not able to place towers in the top left corner of the map, since there is a giant wall there. As well as this, there is a train, a broken down train at least, on the bottom right corner of the track, which doesn't allow towers to shoot through it, but does allow for placing on top of the train roof. This is going to be useful later on. As well as this, there is no water on the map at all, so if I want to be getting my 2 water paragons down, I'm going to have to use the Lord of the Abyss, which creates a circle of placeable water around it. Now onto the main gimmick of this map. When the balloons enter the screen, they are moving at hypersonic speeds, however the closer they get to the center of the tracks, they slow down almost to a complete stop. After a few seconds, they then speed up to full speed again as they exit the track. This means that I have a limited time when the balloons are in the center of their respective paths to actually damage them, before they speed on through and go to the exit. So that's the map that we're playing on. Overall, I'd say it's a relatively middle-of-the-pack expert map, not really a true expert, but not really as easy as Dark Castle or Glacial Trail or Infernal. Now let's get into the run. I start with, on round 1, a Dora and a free Dart Monkey for easy early game defense. This is going to allow me to focus only on farming without having to worry about the balloons for the first 20 rounds. I start with the normal farming tactics you see on my channel: 2 banana farms into a monkey bank into a monkeyopolis. This monkeyopolis will earn me about $1,000 every round, which I can use to surround it with marketplaces and then banana research facilities that I slowly buff with overclocks. Here and there I also buy other towers for defense, such as 2 sharpshooters and a Dark Knight that I will later upgrade into a Legend of the Night for its good damage and black portal ability. Late into the 50s I buy a plane that I eventually upgrade into a 204 Spectre buffed by a 200 Village. This is to defend the rounds, and also that I will later upgrade into a Flying Fortress to farm pops for our Goliath Doomship, which is going to be the first Paragon that we buy. Having the Spectre on the field is a guaranteed free pass to round 80, so I can now just focus on farming, and by round 80 I have filled my entire map with banana research facilities, overclocks, monkey cities, and a monkey Wall Street because income. It is also at this point that I upgrade my Spectre to a Flying Fortress and start giving it Ultra Boost stacks. I want to be getting the Goliath Doomship first because it's the most expensive Paragon in the game, and I want to get that out of the way so everything else will be cheaper. Yes, it is going to steal every single pop from literally every other tower on the screen, meaning that I get my Paragon degrees up slower, but this is an oversight that I only realized after I finished the run, which is, a little bit of a problem, since having low degree Paragons means that I might not be able to survive, because remember, this is an expert map. Now you may notice something very interesting with my life counts after I finish round 112. Yes, it's at 200, so that means that yes, I died in this run and had to continue. In fact, I died several times in this run, all before round 200, simply because DDTs on this map are pure evil. Now, continues do give you extra money, reset your life count, and reset all the ability cooldowns for all your towers. However, the extra cash doesn't really matter, the lives are getting lowered anyway, so that's actually a bit of a downside to continuing, and my ability timings, I just try to be as fair as possible, and not use them to the point where they wouldn't be up before. I try to be fair with these kinds of challenges when I have to use continues, and mods are broken right now, so I can't use my time machine mod to go back and retry the round, which is, unfortunate, and I am now 3,500 monkey money poorer, but what are you gonna do, these things are unavoidable. On round 143, I buy my Goliath Doomship, but wait, do you see that? Yes, degree 87, not 88 or 91, 87. But Brazio, that doesn't make any sense. You should have farmed all 16.2 million pops and done the max cash ladder. Except I didn't do that, I farmed 15 million pops. Now the difference is only by 1 degree, but 1 degree could theoretically make a difference, although it wouldn't really. But here's the thing though, this is actually one of the highest degrees on any of my paragons that I get in this run, which just goes to show how kind of messy this run is. It's not really that good, and I wish I could redo it again. And if you want me to retry this run and see how far you can actually get past round 300, just say so in the comments. But this run, if I had to give my opinion on it, it would be sloppy. Underhanded comments about my own videos aside, on round 179 we died to DDTs. Now, what is the one Paragon that is an excellent anti-DDT defense? That's right, the Ninja Paragon. So this is the second Paragon that we buy. Obviously, since I do die on round 179, I am going to have to use a continue, and all my ability cooldowns are reset, but in my professional opinion, I think ability resetting cooldowns is slightly less powerful than a degree 70 Paragon. With 2 strong Paragons on the map, I easily cruise to round 197, where I purchased the degree 88 Navarch of the Seas. Round 200 goes down with literally 0 effort at all, and 10 rounds after I get the Navarch, I get the only max Paragon that I'm going to get in this run, a degree 91 Master Builder. With these 4 Paragons out of the way, I decide to place down the tier 5s of all the other Paragons that I'm going to be getting to farm pops until I need to buy them. Now here's the thing, the 4 Paragons that I got first, being the Ace, Ninja, Boat, and Master Builder, are the 4 Paragons that are the easiest to get pops. So this means that the pop gathering for the rest of my Paragons is going to be a lot slower, and this is where the Paragon degrees will suffer, because the majority of the degrees that go into my Paragons is not going to be from pops, and is instead going to be from the cash slider and the tiers. And since pops by themselves give a degree 69, I am not joking, this is the normal amount of degrees that it gives, my Paragon strength is going to suffer a lot, with I believe the lowest degree Paragon I get being the Ice at like 64 or something, which is literally nothing. That is like a nothing burger of a Paragon. That's just a waste of space at this point. By round 250, I am done farming, and I sell my banana research facilities and overclocks for over $1 million of selling power. Now with 23 million bucks and half the most expensive Paragons on the field, the rest of my defense should be pretty easy to afford. Now the only other addition I've made to my defense is the Spike Factory Paragon, or the Mega Massive Munitions Factory, which is just way too many words for one Paragon name, and don't even get me started on the Crucible of Steel and Flame. Bruh. Anyway, moving on, I debated whether to not get the Spike Paragon on this map because it is most effective placed at the end of the track, and if you take 2 seconds to actually look at this map, since the balloons come from either side, it's going to be very difficult for the Spike Factory Paragon to even build up a decent amount of spikes. So I was debating on whether or not to get it because the damage might not be worth it. In the end, I decided that the Spike Again ability is more than worth it, and I should probably be getting it in every setup that I do from now on, because it is one of the strongest abilities in the game, doing absurd damage to fortified bads, and this is just the most powerful part of the Paragon. And with its recent damage nerfs, even though it's a lot weaker, it's still very much worth it. By round 260, I now have all the Paragons that I want on the field. I am not getting Dart Monkey because the Apex Plasma Master is utter rubbish. You know it, I know it, the entire internet knows it, it is the worst Paragon by a long shot. Now here's the thing, I have a very large amount of money still left over. In the previous 3 expert map free play runs I've done, I did not have nearly this much cash to be throwing around, and I did not have nearly this much space to work with. So what am I going to be getting? Well, it's quite obvious. I'm going to be getting a whole heap of temples. This is the main reason why I got Adora, so that I could buff all the temples around the map. And here's where my VTSG placement is a little bit iffy. See, with the VTSG placement, I've put it near the edge of the map so it can shoot in a straight line and hit all the tracks. However, it does not have large enough of a range to be able to buff every temple on the map. Even with Desperado, even with Permabrew, even with Village, even with Adora Sacrifice, the VTSG's range is not large enough to be global when it's put in this spot. So not everything is going to be buffed by the VTSG. In fact, that's the second big thing that is wrong with this setup. My Paragon placements are pretty garbage. Since the VTSG would have been more effective in the center of the map, having the 2 water Paragons there being held up by the sacrificable Lord of the Abyss, right smack bang right with my VTSG, was not a fantastic idea on my part. In fact, I would say that's quite a stupid decision. But there's nothing I can do about it now, so let's keep moving forward. After I get down all my temples, I fly the perm brew around and buy enough overclocks to power a small village, but also to buff all the temples. You see, I want these temples to be not ultra boosted, so not god boosted, but pretty close to it, because you boosting just feels like a whole lot of effort, and I don't want to do effort in these videos. What do I look like, a competent YouTuber? Get out of here. Now that I have all my temples, and all of them have been properly buffed, without ultra boost of course, but that doesn't really matter, what am I going to be getting now? Well, I'm going to be doing something called a hybrid setup. This is where I get both temples and bloonjitsus for damage. Now, my bloonjitsu setup here was pretty garbage, and was not representative truly of how good hybrid is, and I definitely could have gone back and fixed all my ninja placements for this to actually be effective. But you didn't come here to learn about hybrid, you clicked on this video to see if you can defeat rank 300 on the new expert map in BTD6. And the answer is yes, quite easily in fact, because after I get my temples and bloonjitsus, I barely have to use any of my abilities and I cruise through round 300 with almost no sweat at all. Ninja Kiwi, if you're watching this, which you definitely are not because I'm just some random idiot with 3,500 subscribers, please release harder expert maps so that I can actually have fun. Well, I did have fun during this challenge, but it was just also 10 hours of agonizing pain. But Brazio, if it was 10 hours of doing nothing, why did you do it? Well, I need views. That's why I do this channel. And also, I worked for the 023 bomb shooter insta-monkey, okay? This is my entire motivation for doing YouTube, just farming insta-monkeys and having an excuse to do it as well. And I would say at this point of the video, which is just the end of the video, which makes no sense, to please subscribe to my YouTube channel as I am trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. Except no, because I have come to the terms that 10,000 subscribers is a fever dream. It is not happening. It is impossible. 4,000 is looking generous at this point. So if you wish to make my pathetic little dreams come true, please subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. Wow. My voice just died there for no reason at all.